And there was another couple checking in who seemed like they were going to do this. They were going to the same thing. Like they were. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll tell you what. I'll stay here, and then I'll.
Please tell me where you're going with the story that you hit a three-way.
Hey, everybody. I'm Kevin McLoughlin, and this is The Riffs, and...
He almost forgot his name, Paul Robertson.
Your name is He Almost Forgot His Name, Paul Robertson?
Well, that was definitely a dramatic pause there.
It was a dramatic pause because I am still trying to collect my brain cells after this amazing weekend we just had.
It was crazy.
Oh, wait, there's one over there. Let me have that. Okay.
Just say no to Kevin McLoughlin, kids. Yeah.
Yes, children do say no to me.
Yes.
But adults, come on.
Yeah, that would definitely be awkward, right? Yeah, then, hey, welcome to the
You know what?
Catch a Predator episode here of...
After trick-or-treating, check your kid's candy for Kevin.
Wow.
Oh, my.
That's
This is getting...
weird.
Hey, everybody. We're still drinking the Noxx Dunn, though.
We definitely not run out of that.
We haven't. Well, we
No.
tried hard to run out of
that's
it,
right.
but
So-
we've got Chris on our side.
Yeah.
I got lots of it.
Yes.
So welcome back to the podcast here. So
Thanks, fellas.
yeah,
Good to be here.
so they're definitely a great event. Again, really excited. Went really well.
So our first music festival is under our belt. We had unbelievably awesome music all day, all night, with the professionalism of the sound and light crew. Things went very smooth.
Mm-hmm.
It was a challenge, though, being...
Yep. So yeah, because you had to be on. You had your own. You had to get on the stage at some point. And then switch it up, bang. Jump around, come back and hang out. And I think it was good that we were able to try to mix it up a little bit with people that were on the mic. Because again, we wanted to kind of walk around and kind of enjoy some of it too, meet a few people, and so again, having Devin at the at the podcast desk, at the festival, Brad jumped in there, and yeah, it was good that we had others kind of help in,
was
tag teaming out, yeah.
Scary in a few ways, in a few times, but we lived.
So
I
I can't believe all the women that threw their bras at you.
It's been a while since that's happened.
Yeah.
It was nice. I liked it.
Yeah, and one big guy too. He was wearing a bro.
I thought it was the man's ear.
It was
That's
the
right.
man's
That's
ear.
right. It was
yeah.
the man's ear, right? George Costanza, or
I know. Poor guy.
good reference. So yeah. So again, Chris, welcome back to the podcast here. Our post festival show just before Thanksgiving. Maybe we'll talk about a little bit of some things. What are we thankful for? Maybe that'll be a good kind of little tie there. It's here it is the end of November. A lot of stuff coming up. Big stuff coming up for next year as well. With with your music, the show, the podcast network. And our good friend back there holding down the bar, Brad Brock, is...
Brad, I'm glad to see that you survived. You came from your gig and you just barely made it, you crazy
I know. It would be the last time that I pull some double duty there. But Russ, I feel like, was on the other side of that, because as I was racing towards you, Russ was racing towards me.
No, we had visions of the two of you passing on 95.
Like ships in the night, man. But it was a great time.
Yep.
I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah. So in your show, you're just coming back from a little break as well, the Jams and Cocktails show, right?
Yeah. We are just getting ramped back up. And we've got a great season in store for you guys. Sometimes I don't plan my seasons, and I always feel like they go better when I do a little bit of pre-planning. But sometimes they sneak up on me. This last season, I want everybody to watch it because it was so chaotic that it was awesome. But this season, we're gonna have more guests. We're gonna have more bands, more live music, and Kevin is so gracious to help us mix these bands that come in.
Do I have am I spilling the beans here on who your opening act is?
No, don't spill the beans yet.
December 4th?
Yeah, December 4th.
No, we can't drop an exclusive on
Put the
this
beans
show?
away.
On this show here.
We can't have an
No?
exclusive
All
scoop.
right.
As of now, Vern Diesel and the Burning Breeze are our opening for this. Yeah,
Performing on the show.
they'll be performing
Live on the show.
As many of you know, or if you follow my show at all, and this was going back almost 5 years now.
Good Lord, has it been that long?
It really has.
No
So
way.
Yeah.
Vern was on with his band at the time, and I was trying to mix an entire band by myself while also producing an entire podcast, and I didn't do such a good job. And so we've got all of that ironed out now because I know how to delegate.
No,
I have good friends.
it's because I called you and I was like, Brad, we can. I love you. And
literally the
I
day
will
after
never
that
allow
episode,
that to happen
Kevin
again.
Kevin called me and he said, "Don't ever do that again." And I was like, "Okay." He's like, "Anytime." And this is years ago.
Yeah.
And Kevin has been true to his word. Anytime I've had anything where I was like, "Kevin, I'm not sure if I can handle this,"
I am
he's
in.
come in and really, really. So thanks, Kev.
Yeah.
I
You're the
love you,
best.
man. I can't allow you to go through
Yeah.
that kind of.
But yeah, so it's going to be a great time. They just dropped a new album, and they're incredible. Vern's just an unbelievable talent, and he surrounds himself with unbelievable talent. So it's going to be a great show.
Excellent. Yeah, it's
He got pretty hair too.
Party hair.
yeah, that South African.
Yeah.
That's he's way Southern rock.
Yeah.
Southern African rock. He's way down there.
Close
No?
to the Antarctic Circle rock.
So definitely check out again their our B3 Podcast Network sister show, if you want to call it, their Jams Cocktail. Check it out. Their new episode coming back from the new
We're
season.
very feminine
Yeah,
sometimes,
that's right.
so it's fine to call it a
But
sister
wait,
show.
just real quick here. Again, I don't want to. Again, we're going to come back to.
We
our,
do have a lot more girls on our show than you guys do.
You do.
For sure.
You truly do.
Yeah. So
Which is a good thing.
We try to balance it out.
I've been trying to talk to one of your destruction crew people there to get their own show going, but
You're not allowed to pillage,
Yeah,
man.
she's a tough cookie. So
Oh yeah. Keep trying.
I'll wear her down eventually, or maybe Mike Furrow will be. So yeah, the B3 Podcast Network there. So definitely check out our sister show on the podcast network. If you're listening to B3 Podcast Network every Thursday, drops the Jams and Cocktails episodes there. Starts back up, and obviously they're live on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. So definitely check all that out, man. So we're really excited there. We got some good viewers. We got some folks that are listening in from. Where did I tell you? Like South America and Europe, and listening to the audio version of the show. So we've got some,
Yeah,
listeners.
that's because I speak
yeah.
English.
I think like 16% of our viewers are in South America.
Yeah,
Central
we're going.
America.
Oh, that's right, Costa Rica. We said we were doing a
Yes.
tour of Costa Rica there. So, but yeah, for sure.
Do I need to simulcast in Spanish?
See,
I think AI can figure that out these
Yo,
days.
yeah.
AI can do it. So, yeah, well, let's get back to our guest here. Yeah, we're hanging out.
We
been
do
on
have
the-
a guest.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
so- You were the title sponsor for our Epic Festival, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. It was great. I have to say that, I listened to your album a lot before the festival, and then when you played some of the songs from it, like it matches. It hooks up. Like you captured your live. I don't know which way it goes, but it works both ways. Like when in your music, it feels the live energy. You can feel it when you listen to it in your room when you're, working.
That's awesome. Well,
And-
that was a live album. All those tracks were recorded live on stage.
Oh, cool. Well, then there you go. See,
Yeah.
how about that ear? Not bad, right?
Is it live
Yeah,
or
you're-
Memorex?
You're hitting the nail on the head for sure.
But it was. You did a great job. I really enjoyed your set. So,
Thank you so much.
and yours too was great.
Thank you. I did it all by myself. Kevin did jump up on that one song with me, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was cool. It was
I-
real fun. The whole thing was great. I really appreciate being part of it. As I said the last time, it's always been a big lofty goal for us to be involved in music and music festivals, and so thanks to y'all for facilitating that
Wow,
for me.
first stage goal achieved. Chink.
There you go.
Yeah.
Check that off.
Yep. Now we're gonna level up. bring this thing all around, right?
That's
We're gonna-
right,
we're
that's
gonna
right.
Do a
Bring
bigger
this
one.
all around, take elements of it to the UK.
That's right.
There you go.
Lots of stuff going on here, and and Kevin, as Brad mentioned there, he said 5 years ago, whenever as he mentioned about Vern having them on the last time, we've actually Brad's show, Jams and Cocktails, the Drums and Rums show. We're entering in 2025. We're entering into our 5th year. I guess it's entering into our 6th year, but it's 5 years, right? I guess if you want to call that 5 years. Both shows have got 5-year anniversaries.
Ghost on the Ox too.
Are you in 5 years?
It started in March 2020.
No kidding.
Oh, okay. So you were a COVID show.
Unrelated to COVID, but yes, it did
Okay.
start at the same
Oh,
time.
wow. Spawned by the shutdown.
That's right. And this show here, Riffs and Rhythms, is a 1-year anniversary plus. Obviously, part of the reason why we put the
Yeah.
festival on and kind of celebrate and kind of promote and those things. So, yeah, it's all about right. You'd agree, right? Dedication, right? And that's obviously a lot of what you obviously you do with making.
Yeah. No, dedication being, our slogan, it's written on all of our boxes, strong and true Florida rum. It's about believing in yourself. It's about being honest, hardworking. That's why I like the festival, because that's the common thread, at least for me, to all the musicians. It's not about a genre, which is what I'm not about, and I don't think our rum is either. It's about authenticity. It's about being true, being honest, being straightforward. All the musicians that day and the whole vibe of the festival is just dovetails so nicely to what we believe as a young organization.
Yeah, that's awesome. So,
It's all about Florida.
you got Florida
Florida,
strong,
baby.
Florida
All
strong.
about Florida. Yep.
Yeah, Florida music, Florida rum.
The whole I think. We all know this, but Florida is such a. Well, first of all, Florida is basically a microcosm of America, like how it started. Like everything they figured everything out here, and musically also. Like if you think about all the music that came out of here, or you've got Southern rock, but you've got the Latin. You got like hard rock coming out of Tampa, Orlando, like way back. Funk. Like James Brown was born in, not James Brown, Ray Charles was born in Florida, as was Jim Morrison,
Yeah. Melbourne.
Yeah,
Tons of great musicians. The Southern rock is a Florida genre. We've got Jacksonville spawning the Leonard Skinner and the Allman Brothers. Over in the Tampa area, we've got the Outlaws and
yeah.
Blackfoot, and just tons of bands. That
Mel
come from
Tillis from Pahokee,
Mel Tillis,
Florida.
yeah, from Pahokee.
Yeah, John Anderson. Was it the
John
same
Anderson,
deal,
yeah.
Ocala area.
Yeah.
A lot of rapid hip hop in the last 20, 30 years come out of Florida too.
This is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, Flo Rida,
So good.
and who's the Tom Petty,
Oh,
Tom
yeah,
Petty.
yeah.
and who's that '90s band that came out of
Matchbox 20.
Matchbox 20?
Yeah, no. Those guys are amazing.
And
Rob
we've,
Thomas
we've
is
got
awesome.
Sister Hazel.
The Backstreet Boys.
Oh yeah.
No
yeah,
kidding,
sure.
really? Yeah, the Backstreet Boys out of Orlando.
There's a lot of music here. so-
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice, still in Florida. We got Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, she's from
Cool in the
Florida. Yeah, well,
Gang?
she came up out of Orlando.
Cool in the
I didn't know
Gang's
that
from
part.
Florida.
Really?
Technically,
No,
I
no.
guess she's from Tennessee.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of like
No, he's-
Hannah Montana days, she was recording in
Taylor
Orlando.
Swift. She was from around these parts, I think.
How does Kevin even know
She was, I
Hannah
thought she
Montana?
was like Tennessee too.
I don't know, man.
something. I don't
Tennessee,
know.
Florida. It's all the same, really.
Well, Hannah Montana was a production done in Florida, so she spent her entire teen years in Florida. So there.
So maybe, hey, so would you consider her a Florida musician then?
Apparently, since I mentioned her.
Okay, so hey, maybe we can get Hannah Montana on the next.
Yeah, well, Hannah Montana doesn't exist anymore, but maybe we could get Miley Cyrus.
Okay, and we'll throw in Billy.
They are
Ray-
the same
We'll throw in
person,
Billy
right? Do I have that correct? Okay.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to know that. It's a secret.
I got
This-
I got tons of
Look,
useless knowledge.
look at this
Just wait.
tough guy knowing his pop culture of girl
Hey.
bands.
Every self-respecting biker's got a Hannah Montana
tattoo.
tattoo. Yeah, a small shrine next to the Harley paraphernalia.
Okay, yeah, definitely Chris Hansen is now coming into this episode. But so speaking of music, right? Again, we've talked a lot about stuff, and Chris and I, as he talked in the last episode about, starting to, learn to play, music or guitar, is we've always joked about we're going to start our own band, and we're going to call it the Florida Mule, or
Well, I mean, I already have I always wanted, the band name is Florida Mule, so it's, it does double duty. It's a cocktail, but it also sounds like a band. I did a thing a while back, and I actually made band shirts, cocktails, cocktails that sound like bands. So, I made kind of like a goth rock shirt. It said Bloody Mary, which could be a band.
Yeah, absolutely.
Florida Mule is sort of like the jam band,
like Government Mule.
Government Mule. Blackberry Mojito is it could be a band. We've made art that it looks sort of like a Grateful Dead band.
Very cool.
And even Sonic, my favorite drink. Sonic could be full on metal, right? Like a metal band. So,
Sonic Youth.
Yeah. I think we want. I mean, the brand is an expression. When I go back to the authenticity and stuff, it's an expression of the people behind it, and it's a very group of folks that all love music, and we want it to be part of our brand. So, I did play guitar a long time ago. Never. I learned how to play guitar when I was working as a lifeguard, and one of the guys played guitar, and we could have him in our lifeguard room, and I'd had a guitar, but I never took any lessons. I think I'd had one, and kind of put it down because I wasn't learning cool music. I was just doing notes and whatever. So this guy taught me. I brought the guitar, and I think I was 19 maybe, and I just loved it and learned how to play it. And then I just kind of got good enough that you could sing and play at the same time. I took it to Europe. I busked with it. Busking is good because you only need to know, if you know 10 songs and you know one verse of all of those songs, you sound like you play the song, guy walks away, and then you stop because you don't know anymore. And then the next guy walks in and you start again or whatever. So, when we got into Noxx Dunn, and I've told Paul about this lots of times, I'd love to start, and I think I said this on the last episode, I kind of, jokingly is, I started a rum company so I could maybe get in a band one day, and, you never know. So.
You never know.
Yep.
So
never too old.
That's right.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, really.
Kevin's never too old to start a podcast, so.
Yes, as a matter of fact, the other day I was watching a Rick Beato video of all things, where he talks about does creativity disappear after the age of 30? And it was an interesting. It's if you want to watch it and see what it's all about. It's titled "The Video I Didn't Want to Make." It's very interesting. It's very scientific, and I really enjoyed it actually.
Interesting. Yeah, we've talked before about music. Learning and accepting new music into your regular rotation does stop. There has been some studies about something similar. Not creativity aspect, but you stop kind of taking new music because you've created, you're encapsulated growing up your teen years, your 20s, etc. And then usually you don't learn or get into new music because you've already formed your own kind of style or what you're used to listening to. And I can see some of it, and sometimes in what I listen to, there's always the fallback. Everyone has a fallback to what you go to, what you were growing up, listen to when you probably listen to the most amount of music. Maybe it's different for musicians, I wonder, but
it is definitely different for musicians because, I've discovered much more music than when I was in the teens. You know, like as a professional, of course, you've got to stay relevant and got to stay current. But since that time where you're like your music consumption, typically, like in your mid 20s, typically your music consumption years are over after that. That it expanded for me. I started learning about artists way in the past. Started learning about current artists. Started learning about future artists. The only kind of artist that I don't really pay attention to is the bands from the '90s, because there's no guitar solos in those songs. So why on earth would anybody care
Makes
about
sense. Makes sense. So, but yeah, so Chris wants you to write a song and include Noxx Dunn.
them? Okay.
Well, that's, I mean, now that we've kind of got, sort of the first milepost hit with
With the festival
the
behind
festival.
us, yeah, we could start integrating things in a new way.
well, the other thing was, it is, I mean, another kind of goal or dream or whatever is to be name checked in songs, just like, well, most of these country songs, right?
On the
They'll-
cover of a Rolling Stone, right? Something like that, yeah.
Whatever. I mean, Noxx Dunn. Like I've done this, and I've even sort of told Paul. Maybe I've even kind of sort of tried to play it for him in a kind of poor manner.
After drinking a lot of Noxx Dunn.
Mostly that's what happens. Is taking some of these songs and changing the name of the whiskey or tequila or whatever they mention, or even if it just works within the song, changing it to Noxx Dunn. I've got and that was the plan.
You mean like you're as smooth as Noxx Dunn?
Yeah, something like that.
That's not good.
But that's not the one though. There's one. There's a song by Blackberry Smoke. It's called "Got a Good One." Feel a good one. Coming on.
Coming on. Yeah, it's a good song.
I've added. It's you can. I've changed Patron to Noxx Dunn and it works. And then and also even to make it more Florida, I changed Shiner to like Chancellor or some local, or Tequesta Brewing or some sort of local Florida beer.
Okay.
So that's the idea behind the cover band, if it ever materializes, is to take songs and just. I even tried. There's
So like a liquor-oriented Weird Al thing.
Yeah, but in places where the the original artist actually used the name of I think I did.
Okay.
I think I did it in. I tried to. There's a country singer named Eric Church, and he has a song Jack Daniels that he does. So,
Does he?
And I tried to do that, and it kind of works.
Yeah, sometimes I sing that song. All you gotta do is put a drink in my hand.
Yeah. So I mean, those are but yeah, I mean, I would just again, like, it's just one of those sort of those plateaus or those milestones or whatever. It'd be kind of cool if instead of Patron or Jack Daniels or Cuervo.
Like this one is like a Noxx Dunn. I drink it all the time. Like a Noxx Dunn. It's 86 proof. Get you some. I don't know. Something.
Yeah, that's not it. But
No, okay.
But
No. It's a good thing you play drums. That's the first time I'll ever say that.
no, but
You dropped the mic.
it just becomes a sign that you're part of the culture. That's all. I mean, I think it's
Absolutely.
I think that's it.
You are mainstream.
Yeah.
If you are named in a song, there's no question, and that would be the ultimate recognition for a liquor brand.
Well, a lot of times people go, Noxx Dunn, y'all related to Brooks and Dunn? And I'm like, nope, but I wouldn't mind if they sang a song about me.
Right? No, Brooks is out. It's Noxx Dunn.
That's right.
That's the new rumor. That's right.
Yeah,
So-
just like Daryl Hall and John Oates are on the outs. We should have a whole like fake news.
All Undone.
Like Hall and Dunn are like the Brooks and Dunn are having a out, and then it's Noxx Dunn,
Yeah.
and they're not even going to sing; they're just going to sit there and drink.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and the other thing was, I mean, since I'm sort of spilling all my sort of musical dreams with y'all, The Florida Mule thing I thought would be a cool thing is if it becomes, you know how sometimes bands will they'll play some big famous band like Pearl Jam will play a club and call themselves
Under a different name.
Yeah,
something
yeah,
else?
yeah. Blue Oyster Cult used to do that and call themselves Soft Weight Underbelly.
See, there you go. So again, like when we're a bigger deal or whatever, the whole Florida Mule thing becomes, Pearl Jam appears in Guanabanas as Florida Mule.
Right.
So,
right.
anyways, these are all the
I look forward to the days where I've got to use a fake band name so I don't crush the front gates and kill everybody.
yeah.
Wait a minute! I came to see Brad Brock, and who's this guy up on the stage? Ken McLoughlin.
Yeah, who's that?
So maybe I got to talk to Billy T and say that he's got his new band back in business, right?
Back in business featuring Colonel Langus.
Yeah, that's right. And so yeah, they are podcast alums as well too. But we were in a band together. We talked about on that show called Noxx Dunn. So maybe
Sonic
I
Sun.
can reclaim the name, and we can get tied in on that then. So
Hey, if your band sounds like it could be a drink, then we'll make it a drink.
well, those years in that band, there was a lot of drinking.
Oh, there was drinking.
Yeah.
There was definitely
So,
drinking.
so Chris, so some of your growing up is like your influences, right? I mean, I know we're talking about here. You're still taking new music in, but like, what kind of how'd you get into music, or what it got exposed?
Well, I'm a child of the 80s and 90s, so I was like, well, I'll tell you what, my favorite band was for a long time was Huey Lewis and the News. That was like
Great band.
I know everyone. In fact, if you put a Huey Lewis and the News song on, whichever one it is, I could probably sing along to it. Like it was so my first, I guess, band that I just had to know all of it about it was them, which was cool.
All the birds in the trees, they don't know what to do. Yeah, that's a great song.
Yeah.
Ever since I heard whatever the words are.
And that, I was also fortunate. My father was a big loved music. So there was, and it was diverse. He would play, the Beatles and the Stones, Chuck Mangione, like, and also like Jerry Reed country, like, and everything in between. Right. So I got to be exposed to a lot of music, which made me, then I kind of fell into, the 80s Brit bands like the Smiths. I was a big Smiths guy. All the new wave stuff, and then I kind of rolled with it all. Mm-hmm. And then at some point I found Neil Young, and that was kind of everything to me. Like I just loved him. And then of course, also I was young of hip hop. Like I kind of was exposed to all of the hip hop. Like I was Run DMC. I was a teenager, and
He's got a great shirt. He's got a great.
I should have wore it. I was thinking about. I should have brought it, but
It says Rum DMC.
Rum DMC, yeah. So I have a varied. I mean, and I think I have a varied love of music. I mean, but I do ultimately love the stuff that's played with, guitars, like a 4-piece rock and roll.
Right.
I mean, I think I fall back to rock and roll or some form of guitar based music.
Yeah, and we've as we talked in the previous episode was we hang out a lot. We live here in Jupiter, and there's we've even talked a little bit about this. It was previous concerts that we've attended. We hang out, and a lot of it is around music. Whether it's been we've seen ZZ Top. We have a whole bunch of the crew and some of your friends.
Yeah.
Bill and can't remember all the guys, but the Crazy Jets fans.
Yeah. Bill and Bill.
Yeah, and
Bill and Ted.
Yeah. Or the Willie Nelson story that we shared on
Willie Nelson.
on the Patreon episode there video. Yeah, but I mean, it's around a lot. Chris stopped by, and I saw Jason Montero at Double Roads one night in the middle of the week, and then to come to check out Jason and Dean was on drums, and Chris stopped on by and hung out for a good bit, and so
It's a good band.
Jason's
Yeah, I mean, these guys,
that band that was at the festival is amazing.
they were good.
Yeah.
I think I feel fortunate, as you were just saying that your music gets sort of stuck, not stuck, but you kind of go for what you know or remember, and I feel real fortunate because maybe just because of the businesses I've been in, I've been in the rum business for a while, and before that I was in the advertising business. So you're kind of required to know what's going on, and you also work with a lot of musicians. Like I've worked with tons of musicians over the years. When we're shooting commercials, about in my advertising life, and so you start to, as your music, your horizons broaden. And I feel lucky that I have that. I'm discovering new music all the time, and I'm even I purposely sort of kind of dove myself into the whole country music when we started Noxx Dunn, because I have been kind of a classic, country music to me is Willie Nelson, and the classic and those
Old school guys.
And then I saw Chris Stapleton once on TV. I'm like, who the fuck is that? And then of course, I kind of started. I think I discovered him the same way everybody did. They watched him play with Justin Timberlake,
Right,
on some award show. And you're like, wow, who's that dude? And then, but when you dive into it even more, and I did it because of the brand. I knew that I knew that we wanted to be, a little rooted in that kind of stuff, and discover some really great. That's how I discovered Blackberry Smoke and all that kind of. I mean, I prefer in that I prefer the sort of the country rock.
right, yeah.
There's a band called Cadillac 3, which I should have told that road story.
Hold on. That's a great segment there. So we do have another episode here for segment here for Tales from the Road here. So
because that's a pretty good story.
Yeah, that's all right. So here we go. So this is Chris's
Rock on, Tales from
the Road here with Cadillac 3. So what do you got here?
Okay, so I'm I have occasion to drive around the state, sampling rum, or so I planned this one of my tours out to the West Coast. I did a sampling in Tampa, and the Cadillac 3, which they're currently I think they're part of one of the NCAA football songs. They're playing in that song, so they're kind of hitting there, and they're kind of a 3-piece rock and roll country band, which I was really digging. And so they're playing at a country bar up in Holiday, Florida, which is.
Where's that?
It's on your way up. I don't know on your way up along kind of on
75?
the coast. No, 20 something.
Okay.
Like
Trying to
Port Richey, Crystal River area?
Yeah, on your way up there, right? From Tampa, you're just kind of leaving Tampa. You're not on the coast. You're just a little away from it. But I think it is Port Richey. So I go there, and I'm like, okay, well, what I'll do is I'll get a hotel on Booking.com, and I'll find the one that's just closest to the event, and I'll go see it. And so I do, and I look at, there's one, it's called the Holiday Inn, but it's not the Holiday Inn. It's
named after the town?
Named after the town. And I knew that. I knew it
no
wasn't.
No licensing issues there.
I knew
Sending
it was.
our lawyers immediately.
I knew it wasn't a Holiday Inn, but it was cheap, and it was close to where I wanted to be. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to stay there. I'm going to go to the show. and then I'm going to go back to Tampa and do the next day of the sampling that I'm supposed to do. So I get up to this holiday, and of course, you know, when you look on Booking.com or any of these things, you really do need to pay heed to the little rating that says poor. Like, like it is, you know, it is helpful, actually, as it turns out. If it says poor beside it, like...
You disregarded that on the way to holiday?
It was $99 or no, it was $79.
Oh,
and
my.
it was
Yeah.
kind of...
I thought that said pool.
Yeah. Well, and then I'm like, how bad can it be?
For 79, you're not getting a pool.
Well, no, there was a pool. I actually paid 70. I paid 89 to be in the pool, like the pool.
Was
facing.
there water in it?
Oh.
Oh yeah. So I get up there, and now it's getting dark, and I've driven into this place, and I'm checking in, and I'm like, damn, I made a mistake. Like I don't know.
Was it a motel?
Oh yeah, it was a motel, and it was you know I didn't pay attention. I didn't notice this as I was going in as much as I did as I was leaving.
But it's paid by
Because
the
the
hour.
sun was up.
Said there were signs on the back that said, you know, you have to have a address to stay here. You
Can't be transient.
They did they have hourly rates at this motel?
I thought you were going to say you have to have a gun with you to stay here.
No, they didn't. No, but so
they're trying to discourage homeless people.
yeah, or transients
And
or
you.
whatever, and me, and so I'm there, and I'm like, damn, you know what? I've already paid for it because I've done it through the Booking.com. I'm like, okay, I'll check in, and there was another couple checking in who seemed like they were going to do this. They were going to the same thing, like they were. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'll stay here, and then I'll.
Please tell me where you're going with the story that you hit a three-way.
No.
Oh.
What it seemed like they were doing the same thing, as in they were
Going to the
also-
show. Like I think they were.
okay,
I
okay.
think
So by looking at them, you could tell, yeah, they're alcoholics.
Yeah, these people are down.
no, they had like I think they
They got
might-
rum and they got a girl.
I think they made it. No, I think they might have even.
Are you
had
down?
Like
Are you down for Dunn?
I think I guess, but they look
Oh,
like
that's another one.
they
Knock
look
on
like
the rocks or down for done.
yeah. So I go to my room, and there's all kinds of people just hanging out, leaning against the railing, looking at at the thing, and there's people out, and it feels like one of those hotels where there's like people are living there. Like it's not there. It's Friday night at the hotel that people are living at, kinda. It reminded me of a movie. I've forgotten the movie, but it was based in Florida. It won a bunch of awards. And
Psycho.
No, it was
The Bates Motel.
no, it was called. I think it was called. It was maybe it was a. It won a bunch of awards, but
Was it the one with Willem Dafoe?
yeah, that one.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all lived at the hotel.
Yeah, I lived at the hotel. It was really a sad movie, and I'm in the sad movie at night now. And I'm like, damn. So,
you're wearing really nice clothes and everybody's giving you the side eye.
well, I mean, I don't wear nice clothes. I mean, I was mostly wearing everything I have says Noxx Dunn on it. So
And he was in his uniform.
I was in my gear, but
The Florida Project? Is that the movie?
yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
So, but nobody was giving me second. I wasn't there. There's there was no kind of deliverance moment or anything like that where people were like coming up to me. But I was just like, man, this is a place. And so I thought, well, I'm in it. I better. I'm gonna go to the show. I'm not gonna have too much to drink. And if I get back to the hotel, I'm just gonna
Bail.
Just
right?
bail.
Yeah.
and so I did. I went to the show. It was amazing. These guys are good. And it was fun. And I said, I'm at the show. I'm like, you know what? What the hell? I'm just gonna whatever. We'll see what happens. This is another story for the road stories, as it turns out. And so the show's over. I'm walking back and there's a Wawa across the street. I wasn't able to get anything to eat at the show, so I went to Wawa to get something. And a guy goes, "Hey, wasn't that a great show? I saw you at the show." I go, "Yeah, we're talking about the show." And then I said to him, I go, "Hey, can you do me a favor?" I go, "Here's my business card." I go, could you call me tomorrow? You know, I know it sounds weird, but I just call me and make sure that I'm around. Like, I'm staying at this hotel down the street.
That's so clever. Like, it's the most clever thing I've ever heard in my life.
I'm staying at this hotel down the street. It's pretty dodgy, and I just want somebody to know where I am. Like, and he goes, yeah, man, sure. And he gave me his card and whatever. And the guy did, to his credit, he called me the next day. And then as I'm walking home,
Are you alive?
as I'm walking home, I thought, you know what? I better. So I get back to the hotel, and I close the door, and then, you know, you want that, you know, the latch, like you know, well, the latch didn't have a latch anymore. It just had like the screw that the like so. The you know, the bolt closes and pin. There was just a screw there. I'm like, well, that's not going to work. And there was like dry, or putty or whatever that was fixed. Clearly a bullet hole. Like there was a bullet hole with putty on it. And I'm like, damn. So I took the chair and I took the fridge, and I put the fridge in the chair, and I pushed it against the door, and then I got into bed and went to sleep. But as I did that, I said, you know what, so I texted 3 of my friends, like various friends. I go, look, it's going to sound weird, but if you don't hear from me tomorrow, like, you know, here's where I am. And I gave them the address. I go, and here's my wife's number, just in case. And
Notice he didn't contact his wife.
no, I wasn't going to contact her.
Hey,
No way.
sweetheart, I'm in this dodgy hotel in Holiday, Florida.
No way. She was mad at me when I told her, like a week later, like, and because I took a picture of the thing, and then the next morning, and I sent them the picture. I go, this was my night last night. Now nothing happened, but it was you know, and then the sort of the I guess the kicker to the whole thing is, about a week and a half later, something came on the news, and I'd taken an Uber because I wasn't sure how far the show was, so I'd taken an Uber from the hotel to the show. It wasn't very far, so I walked back. But when I was in the Uber, it was like there wasn't, like, the woman had her, like, she just picked up some food for on the way home. Like, it was like I was just in her car. Like, you know, like she was she had like her dinner and a bunch of groceries, and I mean, the only thing that was missing was like her kid sitting next to me. But it was, you know, one of those sort of runs. Like, it wasn't I'll just pick this guy up on the way home from, you know, picking up, you know, Popeyes or whatever. So, there was so after that, there was that weekend, something came out of the news, and there was an Uber driver that, like, murdered somebody in Holiday, Florida, like the next weekend. Like,
Wow, one ride with Chris and you're ready to murder someone.
well, that wasn't the same murder. It wasn't the same. It wasn't the same person. But
Okay, sorry.
It wasn't. But it was just.
That was a close call.
Yeah, exactly.
You could have been right. That guy or that luck or just randomly.
Well, I guess the murder thing just sort of underscored my, you know, it just said, you know what,
Life choices.
You were probably right to be a little wary of where you were, because, you know, some Uber driver like murdered a bunch of people like the next week in that town.
That part
Was
of the
that
state,
too much?
That part of the state is a little kind of, yeah, it's definitely very
That part of the
Authentically
state,
real Florida.
yeah.
that's just Florida.
No,
That's
but
Florida.
but there's a show on HBO. It's a series called Florida Man. You know, it's a Florida Man, and it's all these stories about Florida Man stories, and it's kind of like a little bit like Drunk History, where they have actors reenacting this story as the real people part of the story tell it. So there was one episode, I was telling Brad this just recently, was when I was doing live streams for the Drums and Rum stuff. There was a guy who got his arm bitten off by an alligator because he wanted to swim through the woods and all that. And so it was a recent story. The first episode though.
I saw that episode.
The one with
I
the
watched
toes.
it. Yeah, it's the guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
guy was gonna go eat somebody's toe.
right. Which he did.
No, well he did. I don't think he did.
I thought he did, or no?
The guy
I don't
chickened
remember now.
out or something. No, the guy.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. They gave him the money anyway. And that's right. So the story was this guy in Orlando was wanting to see Funkatronic or some electronica band, right? And this was in Orlando, and he was like, need to make money. This puts out this Reddit or wherever, Craigslist or whatever, puts a story out there, and somebody replies to the ad and says, oh, hey, I want you to cut off 3 of my toes and eat my toes, and I will pay you like $3,500. The guy's like, sure, because I'm so obsessed with going to see this band. Okay. So they go through the whole rigmarole, go to the guy's house, meet the guy. He's going to do it anyway. And like Chris said, the ultimate story was the guy chickens out. And
He chickens out about getting his toes cut off?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
he chickens off about cutting off the toes?
Well, no. What happens is the guy who wants him, the fetish guy who wants him to do it, he keeps chickening out, and now the guy who the way the show works is they have the actual guy who answered the call and went over and took the money, him and his friend, this man and woman, and then they recreate it with actors, and the actors are kind of famous actually,
right.
and so this guy's saying like, I'm gonna do this now, and they're trying to now.
He started to talk him into it. Like
Now they're talking the
hey,
guy into it.
Wait a minute, you made a deal here. I'm going to cut your motherfucking toes off to get them.
Yeah, it was yeah, it was
a little-
weird.
So he still got the money, and but yeah, there's other episodes coming up like this, and it's like there's some crazy shit in Florida. That's the whole point of all this, right?
But and I think the just. Not to, I mean, I think the crazy stuff happens everywhere. It's just here in Florida, like
We're more open with it.
the information is available.
There's a reason GTA 6 is set in Florida.
No, it's because I've heard about back in the 90s and was about how much death metal scene in Tampa was because there's everybody who was all so close to they say we're close to the sun that is frying our brains from certain things. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's kind of thing. So very, very kind of crazy there. So yeah, so Chris, that's yeah, I think you may have told me that story before, and it's kind of a little bit kind of. I've had similar stories. I think we've all in this room probably have had similar stories about staying at some dodgy shit and say, I don't know if I'm going to be alive in the morning, you know. And
Yeah.
But hey, so
But it was worth it. The band was great.
Was it?
Cadillac
Yeah, okay,
3.
Cadillac.
They were
Are they a
good.
Florida?
Cadillac 3.
Are they a Florida band?
They're not. They're from Tennessee.
Okay.
But they,
Okay.
they're a Southern rock.
Okay.
They're definitely influenced by
Yeah.
Florida Southern rock for sure.
So speaking of Florida Southern Rock,
Yes.
we want to go ahead and review some music here.
Yep.
And I want to give a little background on this band. So this band is actually the band that backed me up at Biketoberfest.
Oh, okay, okay.
And a great year. There's a long story behind it. Over the course of the last few years, I ended up with out of the blue. Sometimes you get a show just falls in your lap, and I got one in DeLand. And so one of the guys who books me, he's like, "Can you play DeLand like on this date?" And I'm like, "Of course." And so of course I couldn't, but because I had to find a band, and so I called Patrick Johansson. And he was like, "Oh, he's like, who's on the gig? Yeah, I can do it. Who's on the gig?" I'm like, "Well, just you and me." He's like, "Oh, all right, well, I've got some guys. Like, I played with some guys. They're from North Florida. Let me call them and see if we can do it."
Pat's up in that area too?
Patrick Johansson is worldwide. Are you kidding me?
No, I know, but I was just surprised he was.
So the guitar player plays in one of the bands he plays in is called Kinlan, and the guitar player is in Kinlan with him. And so these guys. So he calls me back like 20 minutes later. He's like, "I've got a guitarist, I got a bass player. We're going to do this gig." So I meet this guitar player and this bass player. I meet them at the gig. We play, and it was great. It's you can see it on my Facebook page. It was probably, I don't know, 3-4 years ago. I was at Dale's Ales, and it went great. and so I made some new friends. And then, like maybe a year ago, a little over a year and a half ago, or maybe it was this spring. The drummer from that band threw an entirely the bass player who played with us. I called him and I was like, guys, I need a band. I'm playing the same situation. I'm playing Bike Week and I don't have a band. And he's like, well, I can't help you, but there's these guys. And so I ended up, the drummer that would have been there if Patrick wasn't there, and some other guys. So I played with the bass player and the guitarist 1 year. And then a couple years later, I played with the drummer. And then just like last month, I played with all three of them at the same time for the first time. And it went great. It was a blast. And so this is Branford Highway out of Branford, Florida.
Here.
So we're checking to see if it's the riff or the rhythm that makes this song great.
So we have some new music to add to our
Yes,
Spotify playlist.
Yes, we do.
Okay. All right. Oh.
Good drums, good riff.
Oh, I definitely can see how they fit in the Bike Week, for sure.
Oh, yeah. That's a cool one. Very Florida, man. They got the redneck stage made of pallets.
The 5-string?
Yeah. That's James on bass. Dwayne, this guitar player here reminds me of Bobby Bart from Axe. Another Florida band.
Big old Marshall stack there.
It's a rhythm song. COVID-safe lyrics there.
Oh, I didn't know if that was part of the vocal effects.
Yes.
By the drums.
The drum thing. They just hit.
So this is
This is a tough one.
This is
a tough
real-
one
it
because
was
I'm
a-
going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to borrow the term that Lefty provided.
I thought you were going to say that.
So,
'cause
so,
I was
so
thinking the same
we got
thing.
we got sections of the song where it's definitely the rhythm that drives it. We got sections of the song where it's definitely the riff that drives it. So how do you pick?
There was really good parts there. I liked the guitar. It was got some good riff in there. But then the drums there were some really good drum parts. That was kept the driving. It was a very good mix of, both the riff and the rhythm. So,
How about you?
How
about you, Chris? What are you thinking?
What's your thoughts on you listening to this song here? What really stands out? The guitar riffs or the drums, the rhythm, or
Well, I guess, the drum, like the dum, tss, the dum, like that kind of, it gets you into the song. Like I think,
right?
and that there was, I guess, I guess it's so well blended that they kind of both, you don't think about one or the
You're
other.
having
Like,
the exact same difficulty as we are. So, Brad, what's your take on
And
this?
he is actually both appendages
Yes.
and all that. He is the riff.
Unfortunately,
and
in this particular situation, I was.
He didn't listen.
I was making drinks, and then I took a little wee wee.
Rock on. All right, so
the
then
we're making drinks at the same time. You taking a wee wee, were you?
No. Separate
well,
times.
yeah, you don't make a drink by going
so
wee
I'm
wee.
sorry.
hopefully.
I don't have an opinion.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna steal the terminology that Lefty Hathaway gave us, and I'm gonna call it the riffthum that makes the song good.
I have to agree because again, I do recognize the guitar parts. There was definitely some good kind of, licks that were being played, but like Chris said, the drums were also a good part of. You kind of feel
You can't
No.
even though
all right.
the riff and the rhythm are both great. You can't discount one.
This is when we live in harmony, like
Compared to
ebony and
the other.
ivory.
isn't that the idea? The riffs, they live together, right? Riff and rhythm.
Sometimes it's one or the other. In this case,
It's not riffs or rhythms. It's riffs and rhythms.
and rhythms. There you go. So the official ruling by this tribunal here at the Riffs and Rhythms podcast headquarters. And how about you? The deciding vote is always up to Stonewall here. So what we're going to do is going to go ahead and call it the Riffthum.
Yes, it was a rhythm. Yes.
Branford Highway. Great song.
Yeah,
Boots on the
so-
Ground by Branford Highway out of Branford, Florida.
Yeah. So we got to get them on. Love to talk to those guys, or maybe possible future artist on a next.
Yeah, we got to get him
festival.
in. All right, come on, Dwayne. Drive down. Come on, Mark.
So-
James, get down here. We'll interview you.
Yeah. So they don't necessarily have to be interviewed on the show, as long as we've interviewed, have played their music or reviewed their music.
Or maybe we could do a live remote at the next biker event we play.
Well, we've been talking about doing some remote stuff and live shows and streaming and stuff. Well, we need, we need to start.
If we're going to do a
expanding.
live event, a biker event is my favorite.
That's right. Can't wait to go to Cabbage Patch.
Now that we've done the riffs and rhythms, blues music, and every other style,
Festival.
Noxx Dunn Festival. Can't even organize
So-
my thoughts at this
So
point.
yeah, so we came up with this. Well, not we, but a past guest who's going to be at the who was at the festival, was Lefty Hathaway. Said it was the blend of the riff and the rhythms, and he coined it the riffdom.
The rhythm.
Yes,
The
Yeah,
riffthum.
So our bartender back there was kind of signaling something that there's almost
We've gone through
Wow.
almost an entire bottle of Noxx Dunn.
wow, jeez.
Well, that's par for the course.
Yes.
How many bottles did we get rid of over the weekend?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't look behind. Don't look underneath the table. What?
We really saw Rumpal come out.
That we did. Yes.
Showed up.
Rumball.
So yeah, so very cool. So as we start kind of winding down here, Chris, yeah. So we do another segment here for an MVP. Do you got somebody else you want to recognize there? Part of our shout out there somebody who's
Actually, I would like to do an MVP if I may.
I'm sure, Sean. Hold on. Let's first ask guest if he wants to defer to.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll defer.
sure. Okay, so the House of Wine, Beer, and Spirits MVP here. Kevin's going to give us
at this point, with the music festival under our belt, I do want to recognize Chris from Noxx Dunn being the title sponsor.
Thank you.
For being the driving force behind what we've got going on. And if you weren't there to see the crazy, stupid, awesome stuff that he did to make this festival great, you missed out. And if you know, you know.
you know. IKYNKY something.
Yeah, something like
if
that.
you know, you know.
IYKYK.
You got KY? What?
If you know, you know.
Okay.
IYK. That sounds like a breakfast disaster.
Yeah.
It sounds like
It sounds like waking up to a very big surprise.
It just sounds like a alternate,
Yes.
lube flavor.
Oh my!
Wow. All right.
It sounds. Did you guys want to go to breakfast? Was that what's going on after this?
Maybe.
It sounds like it.
Going
So,
to breakfast.
we got some leftover pizza for you there.
IHOP.
So, there is an IHOP. yes.
IHOP.
Yeah, we got a good IHOP here in Indiantown. So this is a really great show. Great, again, thanks, Chris, for coming on here. Appreciate you supporting, being part. As you said, you get it. You want to see how this all comes together and how this all grows. Everybody, music and how do you go to see music without? Now, granted, I know that those that don't drink, you can go see music. Because I'm not making a point that you need music, you need booze to have a good time listening to music.
You need music to have a good time.
And booze just makes it better.
Booze just makes it better. Yeah.
And that's how people get pregnant.
Is this? And how did that make you feel, Paul?
Well, Devin was the one that said last episode he was pregnant.
Paul is equating
I'm not the
drinking
father.
booze with pregnancy.
He is not the father.
So was this long-term wedding, this long-term marriage you have, was it initially because of a shotgun?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
that's why his anniversary and his son's first birthday are on the same day.
And I'm originally from West Virginia.
Oh, yeah. We have that.
So anyway,
Wait, how does that work? The anniversary and the first birthday?
His first anniversary and his son's birthday are on the same day.
It's a 12-month gestation. So
Yeah,
so-
that's it.
So all right. So again, Chris, thanks for coming on the
It's
show
his
here.
21st anniversary and his son is 21. That's what I'm saying.
Mr. McLoughlin, you telling me the last episode to stay on target here. So let's stay on target here and wrap up the show
Stay
here.
on target. I have definitely turned off my targeting computer.
So, Chris, where can people learn more about Noxx Dunn? Where can they buy it? And let's all that stuff there.
Well, you can you follow us on Instagram at Noxx Dunn. You got to spell out and, so it's NOXXANDDUNN. We have a website. You can order rum on the website. We'll deliver it around the state and around the U.S. If you live in this area, kind of Jupiter, Palm Beach, Gardens area, Flame Liquor is one of the, or Star Liquor here in on Indiantown. But we're also available in Total Wine wherever you are. We are in some ABCs up in the Daytona area. We're in, and in like Cocoa, we're in ABC, and in Orlando. If you shop at ABC and you don't see it, ask for it. We're in a bunch of local bars, including Double Roads and Guanabanas, which are big live music spots.
Mm-hmm.
Staj Kitchen and Ela Curry Kitchen are two great restaurants if you haven't been there in this area. They sell. They have sort of like the elevated cocktail experience with a bunch of. Ela has a great rum bar. They're very rum focused, and then if you don't see it, just ask for it. And we'll go up there and put it wherever you are. Like
Like where you and I met was at the Boot Hill Saloon on Main Street in Daytona during.
That's
Bike Week.
right. So we're we're in the bar next door. Actually, we're not in that bar. We did a sampling there, but we're just not in it. But we're in the Main Street Station next door. You can get it
Main
there.
Street
Great
Station
place,
is a
great
great
place.
place.
Yeah.
Love that place.
So, and we want to. I think that we should talk about doing some events up there because the woman who runs it is a wonderful person, and she's always interested in doing some cool stuff. We
I'm in. Let's do it.
We come and go from those places. We essentially, we go in when it's Biketoberfest or some sort of thing, and we go and we do an event. We try and get in as many spots as we can, and then we move to the next town. It's sort of the way that we were
You
building.
burn the town down and move on.
Yeah. So it's time to go back there. We're in a few of those spots. I did an event up in St. Augustine a couple weeks ago, which hopefully that kind of set things going up there. So we're in. If you're anywhere in Florida, we're in most Total Wines, and if you shop at ABC, go and ask them, and then if there's a bar you like to go to, I'll go there and talk to the people and get it on the back bar.
There you go.
Awesome.
So the Main Street Station that story was where I almost fell off the stage.
You fell off on the front stage or the back stage or inside?
No, it was on the parking lot. They had a little makeshift stage. This is when Billy was on the show.
Oh, for that original music festival. Oh, yeah, that was the. Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. The drum seat was inching backwards, and there was no back lip rail to kind of keep people from. Yeah. So anyway, I just had to throw it.
Fell
in there.
right
But
off the stage.
it was a good place.
Imagine that the Rumfluencer fell off the stage.
And I wasn't drinking
It
that
was
much rum.
fluencing.
I was, yes, fluent. So definitely go check out, go support, go buy, go ask for Noxx Dunn by name. They got a lot of great cocktails. Chris mentioned a lot of great places here in the Jupiter, Palm Beach, Treasure Coast area here. If you're local here, or as you said, online in in some of the big box stores as well too, or even some of the mom and pops, right? Some of the smaller stores, they've actually give some love to them as well too. But yeah, for sure. So, do you got any upcoming shows here you want to kind of plug and throw out there here? The end of December, beginning of December.
Well, we just finished up the
November,
Rising
beginning of
Star
December.
Tour with the last show.
Yeah.
The last two shows of the Rising Star Tour were, of course, the Noxx Dunn Riffs and Rhythms, the music festival. And then we ended it up where we started at the Herd Opera House. And I got to tell you, the whole community really came out and did it. Are we still?
You're still doing
All right,
it?
we're gonna use the magic of post. Are we really like? Is this before the? Okay, all right. So we're gonna fix all that. Rewind. And yeah, we got the last show of the Riffs and Rhythms. I can't even talk. You know what?
This rum's getting to him.
You
man.
got to drink yourself some Noxx Dunn because it'll knock your dun right out.
He's got rum lips.
So, all right. So what we're doing is we just coming hot off of the Noxx Dunn Riffs and Rhythms Music Festival. We're headed into the final show of the Rising Star Tour back at the Herd Opera House in Arcadia, Florida. And I'm sure lines are already forming for that show. We played the first show, and everybody loved it, and they're telling their friends, and it's going to be an amazing show. We love Arcadia. That place is awesome.
They got Noxx Dunn in Arcadia?
No, but I
Uh-oh.
echo that. I love Arcadia. Like I go through.
It's Florida. That is Florida.
That's
Yeah.
the spot.
Arcadia
I wanna
totally
be,
rocks.
Yeah. All
I would love to be in that town.
Hey,
I
maybe
mean,
do a
like-
little maybe do a little post.
It's like Arcadia is halfway between the Circle K on 27 and the West Coast.
Yep.
Is that the Crossroads?
That's the Crossroads, yeah.
That's what I see it.
And I sold my Noxx Dunn at the Crossroads.
Down at the Crossroads.
That's right. And so we got a whole lot of stuff going on. What you want to do is just get on KevinMcLaughlinBand.com. There's tons of stuff going on. We've been coming through like months of like lots of stuff. My brain is just a scrambled egg. We've been doing so much, I can't even tell you.
Or like Huevos Rancheros.
But I do have a plug I want to do. I have a number of Facebook subscribers. Now, here's what you want to do: is until the end of the year, the normal $5 subscription rate has been lowered to 99 cents. So you can get on all of my live shows are on there. They stay on for 6 months. You get discounts on merchandise. You get all kinds of inside information. And in my opinion, that's worth 99 cents.
I'm gonna throw something out there, Kevin, and because there's everything we've been doing is very consuming here, and is for your subscribers and for the Facebook page. We're gonna put together the video and all the content that we shot from the Memphis trip exclusively.
Ooh, there's a ton of unseen footage.
Yeah. So we're gonna put all that on there. So we'll get that all put together. So again, you don't want to miss out. There's a
I think
lot
you
of
need an editor.
Yeah, and you know what?
Most
We need
definitely.
to get that done soon because I have already passed the torch on.
That's right. Yeah.
So what he's talking about is earlier this year, I was the representative for the Treasure Coast Blues Society at the International Blues Challenge in Memphis, Tennessee. And basically what that is it's it's like the NFL playoffs, but for unsigned blues bands and bands from all over the world. We went to Memphis, Tennessee. We played on Beale Street, and Paul was the official chronicler of that event. He interviewed all of the people in the band and documented the whole process, and most of it is unpublished at this point.
That's right. We hit some people up on the streets asking them about whether it was the riffs or the rhythms.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
and
right?
actually
That's
Paul
right,
did
yeah.
a little
So-
better than me on that.
So that's right. And then it was the same night we just happened to be there. Justin Timberlake was doing a free concert at the Orpheum Theater, like kind of warming up to go on tour. And we're like, shit, wait, you mean I could have seen Justin Timberlake instead of this guy?
What a dreamboat. Am I right, Brad?
You right. You right.
But yeah, no, but yeah. So
JT don't do the blues.
yeah, so we'll get that together there. So I guess if somebody's helping, wanting to volunteer to help, kind of.
Yeah, we
practice
need to
yeah,
get that
yeah.
done before the end of the year,
Yeah,
Paul.
yeah. Like I'm not doing
Because
anything
it's going
else.
to be untimely
Oh,
after
right.
this.
So it's what's that VH1 back to the bands or anyway. So yeah, so a lot going on here. End of the year coming up here. Yeah, this is good stuff, man.
We're just totally burned out. We had so much fun.
Yeah, yeah. So as you can tell. So again, I want to definitely thank first off here our producer here. He's happy. He's got a little desk there. He's got a lot going on here, setting up here. We're trying to give him a little bit of room there to work with.
The Devon Ghost on the Ox.
Devin Ghost on the Ox. So definitely check out
Check out Ghost in the Ox podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, YouTube.
There you go.
Some gaming videos might be coming up there eventually too.
Okay. All right. There you go. All right there. So we want to also thank Mr. Brad Brock there.
2 weeks in a row.
Thank you guys for having me.
We got a freaking bartender in the
I
form of
know.
Mr. Brad.
I feel
Brock
like I did my
himself.
job too. How's everybody feeling? Everybody's feeling okay?
My
Yeah.
face is numb.
Excellent. That's wondrous.
I like this setup. So this is again what we've always talked about, getting the show to something like this, where we've got like some bartending going on. We got a little bit of a hang going on with the
Absolutely.
musicians, other people.
It feels way better.
yeah. So it's more like a party, and I think like
And of course, Tracy is here,
Yep.
reminding us of what I should have said,
and correcting you.
as
you
opposed
guys
to
need
what
to
I
get a better,
actually did.
a hotter bartender. Maybe not a better one because I'm pretty
No,
good.
we can't get any better.
but definitely,
We should have switched. We should have had you guys switch spots then.
Yeah, hotter won't be hard.
Thanks, Kev.
So, but yeah, check out our B3 Podcast Network sister show there, Jams and Cocktails, coming back up here at you in December there. So check out there as all part of our shows. It's great. Thank you for coming on the show, Brad. And again, you've got to check out, all three of us were all part of Brad's show for the Halloween show, which was insane.
And that's how we met, actually. As Paul and I met on the Jams and Cocktails podcast.
Right, that's right. Yeah,
That's right.
And there is a horrific story of disappointment involved with that afterwards.
With was a rum related, not
Well,
somebody else's rum, but
The episode that Paul showed up on and I met him at, he came with some Doc Brown's rum, and he made some crazy good cocktail, and it seemed simple. And so, like, I don't know, the next week I was in Key West, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I need one of them, whatever it was called. And I told him it's rum and this and that, and I made it, and it was freaking horrifying. It was horrible.
I'm going to say this for the first time on the air so I can speak it into existence. You know,
you're a virgin.
Got to stay manifesting. No. You wish. No. I would.
Oh, my gosh. Please don't explain that.
How about we do the first annual Ghost in the Ox Christmas special with everybody here? That'd be
Okay.
cool.
All right.
I've never.
Ooh,
done
the
a
ghost
special.
of Ox Past.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
I feel like it's time for a
crossover.
Ghost on the Ox special. I'm in, man.
Oxmas.
Right.
Ox-
Oh, Oxmas.
Harry Ox
On the first
right.
Ghost of Oxmas, my true love gave to me a Rode microphone in a tree.
I was gonna say a rum Paul or something.
Oh,
Jeez.
Oh,
He's not letting it
hey,
go.
free
He's not
fat-
letting it go.
No, it's not going anywhere.
a free outfit for the Rum Paul show.
I'll mix up some of our Christmas classic egg Noxx Dunn.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
Boy.
I love eggnog, so yes.
Oh,
please.
there you go.
Noxx and
Nogs and Dunn. That
brilliant.
sounds like my favorite thing I've never had.
Brilliant.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think we have a Christmas. We're not that creative to put any
Yeah,
specialties
well,
going on.
when
So-
Christmas came around, we were still trying to figure out how to do this podcast.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
year.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. You know we always do the JNC Ugly Sweater Party.
Well, yeah.
And Paul's
I know.
been there for almost all of them, I
Yeah,
think.
I know, and yeah, it was odd that I've always been for that, but not for the Halloween shows before, right? You
I know it's so crazy.
As scary as he
What we
looks,
should
well,
do.
that's-
We
that's
should
what
come
he
up
is.
with some Christmas special
I think
riffs and rhythms.
we definitely need to do
where,
some
like,
crossovers.
don't steal my idea, but we should do something like
Yeah.
the mistletoe special, where we just kiss everybody the whole time we're on the show.
Oh,
The missile camel toe.
the riffs
Isn't-
in
Full camel toe.
Isn't that just the Patreon special for this?
the riffs in on the JNC Ox.
That almost broke out after the
Riffs
camera
and
stopped.
kisses.
riffs and kisses. There we go.
It'd be great if we showed up
Need
and
different
kissed.
guests on that
It'd be
podcast.
great if we showed up and kissed and make
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. Yes.
Hey, man, that's pretty.
kiss
that's
me under the
pretty funny,
mistletoe.
too. Yeah, I love it.
So, all right. So, anyway, we're going to get crazy here and start just landing this ship here. One big shout out there was one of our vendors at the festival was the Drum Revue. So, coming up here in December, the Drum Revue, the Kravis Center there. It's a great event there. I had Todd from the Drum Revue, who's the creator of it. It's all about drums. They have different type of drums, different type of percussion. It's a great family of show there. So come and check out. They support again. They are trying to do something creative. They're trying to kind of start something different. So he was a part of our vendors there at the festival. Again, it's a cool event. Obviously, I'm very excited. Obviously, drum stuff going on. And so yeah, come check it out there. So December, get your tickets at the Kravis Center there for the Drum Revue, Revue. Yes, you ready to go ahead and wrap this guy up? And
Ladies and gentlemen,
boys and girls
children of all ages,
over 18.
step right up and join us for the final conclusion of tonight's episode. I am Kevin McLoughlin, and this is
Paul Robertson,
the Riffs and
Rhythms Podcast.
thank you so much to our esteemed guests, Chris from Noxx Dunn,
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Mr. Brad Brock from Jams and Cocktails, our official
Thanks for having me.
bartender, and we've got the actual ghost on the Ox. Behind the scenes and on top of everything. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Cheers. Good night.